colony stuff. This is my next episode of how to fix, and for the first time, I am not fixing a corporation. I am instead fixing a colony, or two colonies. I'm gonna do two because colonies are a bit shorter than corporations. So we're gonna talk about my least favorite colonies, and let's start with my least favorite of all. Let's start with Europa. So Europa, see what it does. So placement bonus is an ocean, which is fine. Like it's better than a standard project ocean, by one cash. Colony bonus is one cash, which is the weakest colony bonus in the game. And income is production. It is the only colony that gives you production, and yeah, it's interesting. If you go there early, I guess production is good early, right? Production is worth more than resources early because it's production. So, energy production is good. The weird thing is, like, the first four steps, the one cash production, really, you don't play for it because it's too low. Like, you wouldn't pay 9 cash for one cash production. The energy production, the problem is if you're trading, you probably already have it, right? Maybe you use your last 9 cash trade to get the last energy you need, and then next turn you can trade that. I've seen that happen, but it's not a colony you're gonna go consistently to. And then the plant production is fine, but like the problem is like it takes 3 generations. So on gen 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 is going to go through the plant production. And then because there usually aren't any colonies on it, it's going to take 5 more gens to get there. If there's a colony, it'll take 4. So like the plant production alone is not going to make it work because you're going to get to trade the whole game. The colony bonus isn't good. The placement bonus is the only thing that's good. And here's the thing, I think this was sort of meant to be the terraforming colony, and that's why you get plant production, and I guess they want to mix it up with Ganymede so they can do plants. You do have the oceans, but the energy is not really heat, so it doesn't work at all for me. It's just a weird colony that sometimes someone's getting energy there, sometimes someone else gets a plant there. If there's 2 players and none of them have extra trade fleets, it just doesn't get used. There have to be like a lot of players for these to get used, and yeah, it just doesn't. So here's my fix. So first of all, I kept the colony bonus. I wanted to be terraforming, the placement bonus. I changed the colony bonus to a plant, which is better than a cash. It's the same as Ganymede, but like, I mean, you could make it 2 plants, you could argue. I just didn't want to make it too powerful. And then it's supposed to be a terraforming colony, so it should do all 3 terraforming things for you. So it should do heat, it should do plants, and it should do oceans. So placement colony is an ocean. You get plants, which is more useful than heat, so you can complete greeneries with trades. And then I went heat, plant, 2 heat, 2 plant, 3 plant, 4 production. So why did I do this? First of all, I think having the plants a bit earlier is important. This way, if you get a couple of colonies there, you can hit them every turn. If you get just 1 colony there, you can go every other turn. So if you're the terraformer, you put your colony there on the ocean, you get your ocean down, and then when you go first, you go to the better colony that you're usually fighting for. That could be Luna, that could be Ganymede. When you go second, you're gonna get it on that 4th step with the plant, right? So I think having the plant 1 step sooner is important. Now, I also wanted to do it in a way that if you have all 3 colonies, it resets to heat, so that people can't... So basically, if this is too good, you will see 3 colonies there, and then every turn it starts at the 2 heat. I didn't want it to start at 2 plant spot, and I like that it alternates, and that's sort of like how the value builds up, like... 1 plant is better than 1 heat, 2 heat is better than 1 plant, 2 plant is better than 2 heat, and 3 plant is better than 2 heat, right? So I do like that if it's everyone's going for it, you have to like take the heat and not the plants, because I think the plants would be too broken. Of course, there are the +1 cards, which like, but those break every colony. So And you're getting plant bonuses. So I like the order in which I set up the hidden plant alternation. I like that it is weird. Like if you've been my channel before, you've heard me say probably a tons of times that I want colonies to be weirder. I don't want them to be like the straightforward, the X resource colony, right? So I like the idea of Europa, but I didn't really like the execution. Now, one more thing that I did is one thing I don't really like about Europa is the last three spots are the same. So there's no rush like to block it once it hits the fifth spot. Like it's not scary if you're not interested in it to have to block it, and I always think they should always scale up, right? I don't think awards like the trading income should stay the same for the last three spots, so that's why I went 2 and 3. If three, like, it doesn't really matter that much that the last one is too strong, because okay, it's on you to get it at the sixth spot then and block it, right? So yeah, I wanted to do three plant production. It's honestly maybe too good, but you can stop it at 2. You can stop it at 2 heat, right? Of course, there could be a combo where you get like the 3 colonies at the +1 and the +1 and the +2, and then it's unstoppable. But yeah. Now, one thing that I didn't like that I do is that I remove the only colony that gives you energy production in a game where energy production is very important. And well, let's talk about the next colony, which is Callisto. So, Callisto, I've always said that energy isn't the real resource, the resource is energy production. You're never really using energy as a resource, you're using the energy production, because the way it works per turn, like even if you have something like Death Center, you don't need 1 energy to get it going, you need 1 energy production like 1 energy every turn, which is energy production. Right, so you're always counting your energy production. You never care about how much energy you're gonna have in a turn. And this is why Callisto is weird, and it's the other one that I really don't like. It does give you energy production, so let's look at it. It has a very good colony bonus, so sometimes placing a colony here can be really annoying if your opponent is going for it. Like, it pretty much prevents your opponent from going for it, but your opponent doesn't care because they don't want to go for it anyway, right? And it ends up being like a heat producer, but 1 round slower. Because people usually start hitting it when it gets to 7, 10, 13, which is worse than Aya, which is 18, 13. So yeah, what did I do with Callisto? Let's see. So the first thing, as you can see in my fix, trade income is no longer energy, it's energy production, which is the resource that you want. The colony bonus, I kept it as energy because like giving energy production as a bonus is too strong. But yeah, I made it energy production. Only three steps at the end, so this is slower than Miranda even. It's like displaced by 1 spot from Miranda, where last spot is only giving you 3. Is the only one giving you 3. But you should start, because it starts at 0. If you get a colony there, then you can get 1 energy production every round, right? The other thing is, because Callisto is sort of like the problem that I've said, that it's like when you have the energy already, you just use it to trade somewhere else. Like you're not going to get more energy because you can use it to trade anymore, which is the value in colonies. I made the colony placement bonus a trade. And so I think that's interesting. You can wait until Gen 2, wait for it to hit 1, place a colony, you get a trade, and you get an energy income and energy, right? And so after that, like if people want to go there, like you get your colony bonus, right? So that's obviously more expensive than just trading there, but I think a trade is not a terrible colony bonus, and I would make, I didn't do it because it didn't read well. I would make the last colony or the second colony maybe 2 trades. I think that would be interesting. I would like the colony bonuses to be different, the placement bonuses, because, well, that way you have to think more about the order in which you place things, right? You have to like think a little bit more, like, do I want to be the first, or do I want to like risk letting it go so that I can get the better bonus? So I would make the second or third spot 2 trades, and yeah, this would just be a way to get energy production. Like once it hits 2, which is the 5th step, I think most people would go for it. And it might make sense to just go for it with a trade, with a colony, right? If you have a cheap colony card, you just put it there, you get your trade, uh, and that's it. That's the colony bonus. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my fixes. Let me know what you think. Like I definitely like him better. I think I'm only gonna do 2 more. If you saw my ranking, you know, Triton and Io are the other 2, and those ones are gonna be a lot simpler. So these are the weird ones, right? But yeah, hope you like it, and see you next time.